Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back. You're here at the Fox Den with Peter Voss, the Papa Fox, and we are going to continue playing Pillars of Eternity by Obsidian Entertainment. When we last left off, we had started our infiltration of the Temple of Wodika. We had gotten some passcodes from this fellow up here, which I think we're actually going to talk to him again. And now we're actually going to go into this, whatever this dark fog of war area is. Actually, let's go ahead. Never far from the Queen. Nope, we don't have any notes in there. Okay.
I shall.
Let's go ahead and quiz this guy once more. What are you doing here? You can practice on me. Okay, first question, state your name and purpose. My name belongs to the gods in the hand of the service. Seek the company of shadows. Third question, tell me your labors to see the craft of Kith and Wilder. Not is okay. Fourth question, how do you know your purpose? Answer, you shall know it by the confession of my tongue. Fifth question, sealed by the Leaden Key. Okay, sounds like... Okay. Okay, now I might need to consult my mobile device just to make sure we don't have this go off without a hitch. So let's be about it. Oh, and I put a hood on my head. So hopefully that'll fool everybody. No hoods on anybody else, just me. Oh me, oh my. Okay. Last time we were here, Aloth got a little bit of a wig out, so let's see what happens. You hear murmurs and chants on the other side of the door. A ritual of some sort is already underway. Beckon your party to follow. Okay. Several shrouded figures are lined up across from a hooded woman. The figure at the end of the line approaches her, and the woman places her outstretched hand on a stranger's forehead. They stand in silent communion as you look on. A few moments later, the stranger steps aside and resumes his place in the circle around the statue. Points a finger at you and says, "Oh, right, nope, sorry, okay, let's go ahead and redo this." Wodika. Yeah, sorry about that, I forgot. We have to enter in alone so that we can actually do the sneaky instead of the stabby. Normally I would go with the stabby, but in this case, it actually is better to go it alone and see if we can get more information. So, how are you all doing? I've had definitely a bear of a weekend, but I'm glad to see you all again. Oh, what? Oh, hey, cool. I just realized this. Sorry, one moment. We can go like that. We don't have to have Durans hang out here on the very tippy-top end. Okay. Yeah, I had a bit of a long weekend, so I'm definitely glad I can relax and play a video game with y'all, so that's good. Continue onto the chamber alone. There we go. There's that. The woman turns to you. You are late, attendant. Even though her face is concealed, you sense her rage her rage in her dangerously low voice, and the sudden silence of the others in the chamber.
I've been waiting on your reports. Quickly now, state your name and purpose.
The woman beckons you closer with curling fingers. She rests her open hand on your forehead, and you feel the heat from her palm through the thick material of your hood. Her voice is so low and soft that you're not certain whether she's speaking aloud or in your head. Right. My name belongs to the gods and my hand their service.
What company do you seek?
Okay, cool.
Tell me of your labors.
To be the craft of Kith and Wilder, blah de blah.
How do we know your purpose?
You shall know it by the confession of my tongue, blah blah de blah blah blah. Sealed by the Leaden Key.
Welcome, attendant. Tell me of your exploits.
Her voice reaches you as a whisper, slithering first into one ear and then the other. In your mind, you see a building, magnificent. Whoa, I totally mangled that. Magnificent with trellises and tiles, and located on a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin.
Does he wait still?
Yet it also houses misery and madness. Somewhere within its rotted core sits a man, his hair matted, but his eyes alert. He watches and waits, a prisoner by choice. The Acolyte's question echoes in your mind. I don't know.
Did they arrive?
The Acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay to a town in the wilderness with a watermill. A signpost on one of the paths reads, Deerford. Several figures huddled together, shrouded in cloaks and hoods. An image of ruins suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal effigies flank a cleft in the mountainside. It's uncertain.
Your information shall be relayed. Now, for your next task.
The ruin fades from your mind, and in their place is a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Run-down estates are cobbled around a cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes prowl the streets, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see him clearly, but there is something unnatural about him.
Stop him. And above all, don't let him meet her.
You see a woman deathly pale with a scar over her heart. The Acolyte shows you a door in the base of the tower, a seemingly impenetrable slab of stone and copper, but then she shows you the invisible split between the perfectly matched halves. You understand how the copper veins convert a command into action. The command comes to your mind with a surprising familiarity about it. You know how to open the door. I shall. Have you any questions? What is this place? Remnants of the Temple of Wotica. First fires destroyed everything above us. Okay. Who are you? I am the Acolyte. Remind me of the man at the tower. Okay, there's that. Could I see the vision of the ruins again? Yes. Show me the prisoner. Okay, farewell. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Find the tower. Undying heritage. Okay. Yes. The man who waits. I am the man who waits. Whether by design or consequence, the sputtering candle light, the hooded statue's face is almost impossible to see. Ooh, we lost 109 copper pieces to bandits. Banditos. Back in 9 days. Cool beans. Oh, wait, what was this? Nope. Okay, nothing. Right. Oh, hey, there's a thing. You can click that thing. That thing can be clicked. Okay, devotees have placed assorted keys, their teeth filed away among the rentals of wax. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and see what else is... Okay. Travel to Deerford Village. Okay. Well, we have some things we can... we have some things that we can look to. Okay. So, let's, I guess, start with Heritage Hill. That should... Yes, let's go ahead and start with Heritage Hill. That should work out quite nicely. Hooray for branching things. Oh, me, I should have had another cup of coffee before I started recording. Whew. The steward of Cade Nua has received a letter for you. Durgan's battery.
Moment, please.
I think
I feel I should explain myself.
Oh, okay, let's talk with Aloth.
About my episode in the catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
So tell me now. He clasps his hands together, slowly massaging a knuckle with his thumb. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself. That when we resolved the matter of your soul, we could also address my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He closes his eyes, grits his teeth, His lips quiver and twitch with the vestiges of some internal debate. Several seconds later, he opens his eyes again. They're watery and bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
Tell me about Isilmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen.
He winces, his expression rippling between control and chaos.
Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
His face flickers with a sly grin. He grimaces, running his hand through his hair. I have none of her memories. Barath spared me that much, but her coarse manners and intolerable hill-speak suggest a provincial from very, very long time ago. She tends to surface a hair's breadth from conflict, when the fuse is burned down and the teeth are on edge. And when she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge a situation, she just acts. She seems reckless. That's it exactly. You recall the way she goaded those villagers in Gilded Vale? She doesn't think, and she doesn't back down. And trying to suppress that has been my problem for years. Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meerwald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
Is this going to be a problem?
Merely an annoyance. Although...
He purses his lips to a thin, crooked line. He lowers his voice and clasps his hands behind his back. Minute twitches and spasms along his arms betray his fidgeting.
Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, perhaps we could speak with someone there.
If it's helpful to you, we'll go.
Thank you. This has been a great burden.
Okay, time to get moving. Okay, two-sided. Find an expert on awakening somewhere in Defiance Bay. Right.
Aye?
Let's actually go ahead and do that first, and then we shall go back to Caed Nua, because I think we've just stumbled across the DLC, so that should be fun. Wonderful. Wonderful indeed. Stretchy stretch. Me oh my. Yeah, my son is teething, so he's been keeping us up a little late, so that's always been interesting. Man, he has a set of lungs on him when he wants. Late at night, though, when he's kind of complaining and whatnot, it's not like he's shrieking or yelling at the top of his lungs, but it's more like a constant, like, if you've ever lived anywhere where there are tornadoes and if they test the sirens, it's like that, and you can when you're hearing it from the inside of a building, kind of like dull and everything, but just constant. I mean, I love the little guy like to pieces, but it'll be nice when all the teeth are in. That much is certain. Okay, let's go ahead and talk with this fellow. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. That'd be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened, but I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck, I found a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gellard, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon. I jest. You Aedirans are so uptight. I don't even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business to defeat the Huns. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by his shoulders and steers him to a couch. Try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It's fitted with Adra lenses to cut different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Islamir more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. We will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in Sithwood. He looks to you, his face set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisig doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thane's family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her heimneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue and she twists one of the dials. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother's home. I can't let my guard down a little. I can let my guard down a little when she is around. He's usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen. The next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach. I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else to be exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against the field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Madicho! Belisig furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You've got to bring him out of it, quickly. I almost have it. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's nae safe when I hap upon him. Belisig sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices in high ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Perfetto. We have flares of totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Islamir what she's doing. Aloth's face twists in fury. Sticking weed? Worming parasite? He bursts into sudden laughter. You'd say the same to your own kindled twig when it betrays you. Itter grins. Must be hard to avoid knowing there's a lady in your body the whole time judging you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling, only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with the circling of her wrist, krill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Islamir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. You should ask what I did with that old man of his. How the last time he laid hands on us. I'd break it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. Sorry if I'm butchering Islamir's accent. I'm not a professional, nor am I really even an amateur, but I do kind of like to at least attempt the voices. So apologies, and thank you for bearing with me on that. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening. But now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Islamir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of the argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's other horseshit. Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat their share. Kinda studies Aloth dubiously. It's a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? When Aloth is in danger, you're close. I think Islamir's appearance is related to... it's absurd. Islamir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. Belisig carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. And he removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisig frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Islamir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. I'm going to say this. It seems that Islamir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or hindrance. From my position, I'd say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Pater Voss. He does not look at Belisig. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of revoir, Fenter Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right ways principles of animancy. Just what ye have always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisig is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. She gets your research. I'm going to agree. You should not ever release your information if you don't. There's always a way to say no at any time, ever. Fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Okay, well, we're going to call that to the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like or give me some feedback if you prefer. Of course, if you enjoy my other work, then a subscription to the channel would also be most appreciated. As always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Den. I hope you come back next time and pull up a chair for some more Pillars of Eternity. Alrighty, y'all take care now. Bye.